What I'm going to talk about in today's video quite literally changed my life as a business owner. Before I knew how much it cost me to land a new client, I was constantly worried about where to spend my marketing money and what to focus on, or if I should even be marketing my business at all. But figuring out my client acquisition cost just cured all of those worries. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. This is part 3 of my financial basics series for pet business owners. 2 weeks ago, we started this series with talking about how to accurately track all of your income and expenses and create a profit and loss statement. And then in last week's video, we talked about how to use your profit and loss statement to find your cost per visit and your profit per visit as a pet sitter and dog walker. And now in this week's video, we're going to go a little bit deeper into the weeds and use this financial data to calculate our client acquisition cost. To me, this is where all of the boring bookkeeping stuff actually starts to get fun, because this is where we can start using all of these numbers on spreadsheets to actually start making decisions for our business instead of just looking at a computer screen. So we're going to get right into this right after you hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with my weekly content here on the Doug the Dog Guy YouTube channel. And while you're hitting that subscribe button, I do just want to reiterate here once again that I am not an accountant, nor am I an attorney, so nothing I say in this video should be taken as legal or financial advice. To start with, we need to keep track of where all of our new clients are coming from. So in the last 2 videos, I talked all about the importance of keeping track of all of your income and expenses. And this is yet another thing for you to build a spreadsheet for and keep track of. Not only the clients that are coming in, but where they are coming from. And this is really easy to keep track of. You know, for me and my business, we ask right there on the new client sign up form that's on our website where they found us. And if you don't have a new client sign up form on your website yet, or if you don't want to add that question to your sign up form, you can simply just ask the client, hey, how did you find out about us? And then manually add that information to a spreadsheet. So all of that being said, let's get right into our example here. And we're just going to keep working with that same monthly profit and loss statement that we worked with in the last 2 videos. And for this example here, let's say that we want to go to local leasing offices and tell them about our business and see how we can help their furry residents. When we go in there to introduce ourselves, we are going to hand them a stack of flyers to keep there in their leasing office and to put into their leasing packets. This is a marketing method that I use in my own business, and I can tell you that it is one of my best, highest ROI marketing methods that I use in my business. So if you have not watched my marketing videos already, I'll link all of my different marketing videos down in the description below. But let's just say that we ordered 250 flyers from Vistaprint, and that cost us $43.99. And let's say that in conjunction with going to these leasing offices, we also want to test some Google ads. And let's say that we put $100 towards those this month. So that brings our all-in marketing cost for the month to $143.99. So let's just say here that that $143.99 of marketing acquired us 8 new clients. So that brings our average client acquisition cost to $18. All we did was divide that $143.99 by the 8 new clients. Now that's our average client acquisition cost, but it doesn't really show us which marketing method worked better. So that's why we have to ask our clients, how did you find us? And let's just say here that 6 of our new clients found us from those flyers that we left at leasing offices, and only 2 of the 8 new clients found us from that $100 that we spent on the Google ads. So what we're going to do here is we're going to divide that $43.99 that we spent on the flyers by the 6 new clients that found us via that method to get an average client acquisition cost for our flyers of $7.33 each. And then we're going to do the same thing with our Google ads. We spent $100. We're going to divide that by the 2 clients that found us via that method to get a client acquisition cost of $50 each. So you can see right off the bat here that our money is much better spent with the flyers than with the Google ads in this example. So we can use this financial data to plan our future marketing methods. If we know that we only have $100 to go into our marketing budget next month, we're obviously not going to spend that on the Google ads. We're going to go deeper with the flyers and or try something else. This is where it starts to get fun because these numbers start helping us make these decisions about how to run and grow our business instead of just being data on a spreadsheet. Again, this is just an example here to show you how the math works, and even more importantly, just show you how vital it is that you track all of these data points and use all of these metrics to actually run your business instead of just going off of a whim and trusting your gut. Something else to consider is that in this example here, I only calculated the cost of the flyers at $43.99. Now, the other big cost that was not accounted for here was the amount of time that it took you to reach out to all these leasing offices and then go actually meet with them, start building these relationships with them, and then ensuring that they continue to have your flyers on hand. That takes a good bit of time. And I would suggest that you put a dollar value amount on your time and equate that in with the cost of the flyers, just for this example here. Whatever you're doing, I think that you should account for your time because time is the most valuable asset that any of us have. That is the one asset that we will never get back. So let's just say, for example, here that we factor our time at being valued about $15 per hour, and that it took us 5 hours to arrange all of these flyers. So that actually brings our cost for these flyers up to $118.99. If we divide that by the 6 new clients that we acquired from these clients, that brings our client acquisition cost up from that $7.33 all the way up to $19.83. So you can see here that this is where maybe those Google ads are starting to look a little bit more appealing for you. So again, I just highly encourage you to factor in the cost of your own time and effort and energy in with these numbers and track these client acquisition costs. So I'm editing this video right now, and I just wanted to add another little reminder to not forget about the rule of 7 as you are calculating your client acquisition cost and determining which one of your marketing methods has the highest cost and the lowest cost. The rule of 7 states that on average, a potential client needs to interact with your brand 7 different times before they will sign up and convert into a paying client. And I just wanted to add that reminder because as you start calculating all of these different things, you will see that some marketing methods are going to have a very high cost per client, and some are going to have a very low cost per client. But even the ones that have the high cost, that doesn't necessarily mean that you shouldn't do them just because they have that high cost. You may see that they really go in conjunction with some of these other marketing methods. And let's just say, for example, that your Google ads have a low cost because everyone has already seen your brand so many times at local events. And then you stop doing local events because those have a high cost, but then that really jacks up the cost of your Google ads because now they're not seeing your brand there. So you're going to have to do some tweaking and some testing. And really, my advice for you is to try everything. And then you can really start seeing what ties together and what doesn't. But again, just remember the rule of seven, try it all, track everything. I hope that that was helpful. Now, another really important metric that I think you should track kind of along with your acquisition cost is your lifetime value. You'll hear this referred to as the LTV sometimes. That is just simply the amount of money that a client will spend with you throughout their duration of using your business and your services. And if you calculate this and determine that your client lifetime value is, tens of thousands of dollars, then you may be willing to spend the $50 per client acquisition cost on the Google ads. Maybe it's worth it for you if your lifetime value is that high. But if you have a much lower lifetime value, then you're going to be wanting to hone in on marketing methods that are cheaper, such as our flyers in this example. So I know this video is titled all about finding your acquisition costs, but again, I do really highly suggest that you track your client acquisition cost along with that so that you can kind of compare these numbers and make strategic decisions from there. I hope you can see here that if you're already tracking your monthly income and expenses and already making this profit and loss statement, like I had talked about in the last two videos, then just taking it to the next level to figure out your client acquisition cost and your lifetime value is just a very simple next step. And the math itself is very easy. And I know that you can do this. And I also know that you should do it because, like I said at the beginning of this video, knowing these costs really changed my life as a business owner. I very quickly saw when I first did these calculations for myself years ago that I was not spending my money on the most efficient marketing methods. So I was able to kind of shift gears to start putting more money towards these higher ROI marketing methods, and the rest is history. This is how we build a sustainable business that will be profitable for the long run. I really hope that this financial basics series has been helpful for you. I know it's not the most exciting topic, but it is very important for us as small business owners. So please reach out to me if I can be of help as you start building out your own spreadsheets and calculating your own numbers and then making your own decisions like this. You can sign up for a one-on-one coaching session with me over on my website, which is dougthedogguy.co. I also have some free templates for you to download there. You can join my email newsletter there. And if you're ready to start really scaling your business by hiring and growing a team, you can enroll in my positive hiring course there as well. So again, I hope this has been helpful. Let me know what questions you have down in the comments below. Make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss out on my weekly videos. And with that, I'm Doug the Dog Guy, reminding you to stay positive.